What's up, Cigar Connection family? This is your host, Croomy. I'm here with another episode of Cigar Connections, and I'm actually doing the first one on the road in Atlanta at Southside Premium Cigars. And I do have the owners, which is a husband and wife, and they're going to introduce themselves. They're going to talk about Southside Cigars. They're going to talk about their inspirations, and they're going to talk about themselves. So we're about to get into it.
Yes.
Welcome to the Cigar Connection Show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, how you doing? Welcome.
I'm well. I'm well. How you doing today?
I'm great. I'm great.
So, like I said, this is the first show on the road for the Cigar Connection Show, and I am happy to actually be in Atlanta. I have a good friend, Frank Woods from Carver Cigars, who invited me down for his Cut and Light event, and there's also another event going on at the same time. And these are just some good people, a good husband and wife who show me love and hospitality from when I first walked through the door. So, please introduce yourself.
So, I'm Chandi. I am 50% of Southside Premium Cigars, and this is my husband, Philip.
Yep, I'm Philip Holmes, 50% Southside Premium owner. This is my wife, Chandi, and we're just here to talk about our shop for a little bit.
Okay. So, before we get into it, before we start talking about Southside Premium Cigars, and before y'all talk a little bit about yourselves, I normally do a toast for my interviewees. I let them toast on what they would like to for the show. But also, when we're doing a toast, please tell us the cigar company that's sponsoring us today.
Okay, so we're sponsored by Carver Cigars. They are here in the Atlanta area. It is a fantastic cigar. It's a boutique cigar company. They're black owned. This, what I'm smoking, is called La Miranda. It's an amazing sultry cigar. It's Dominican Nicaraguan mix. Absolutely fantastic. Beautiful Habano wrapper. It is one of my go-tos. Really, really good. What you think, babe?
I agree. Carver Cigars, they have, I believe, three cigars in their lineup, and we carry all three. And we are located in Fairburn, Georgia, 640 Sonoya Road in Fairburn, Georgia, 30213. If you're in town, come on by and see us in town. We're open Monday through Sunday. That is every day. So come on by and get a couple cigars to smoke on.
So the fantastic thing is we're only about 16 miles south of the ATL of Atlanta Airport. So we're super easy to access. We are 85 south to exit 61. You get off exit 61 and take a right. We are immediately on the right, huh?
Immediately on
Don't
the
even
right.
put on the gas, huh? Because we're right here. If you put on the gas,
You're going past.
you're going past.
You're going past.
So, fantastic.
So before we get into it, and I want to say, Frank, thank you for sponsoring us today for this event and for the interview. We truly do appreciate it. Once again, this is like the third or fourth episode that I have smoked your cigar on, and I truly appreciate it. And continue to let's work, continue to grow, and continue to connect and build relationships.
That's right.
So, before we dive into Southside Premium Cigars, please tell me a little bit about both of yourselves. Like, a little bit of your history. If you want to talk about when you first smoked a cigar, just give the viewers a little bit about who you are.
Okay. I'm from Chicago, Southside, in the Auburn Gresham neighborhood. I was born and raised there. I moved to Atlanta in '01. Been here ever since then. I think I smoked my first cigar probably in 92, 93.
Okay.
Now, I didn't know much about cigars then at the time. I just wanted to smoke them because I liked the smell. So it had a shop in Chicago called Smoky Bear. I used to go there, and like I said, I had to educate myself on different types of cigars, the different wrappers, Maduro, and all that kind of stuff. So I just started picking out different cigars and smoking them to see what I like.
Okay.
So like I said, I started like in 92, 93. So over the years, I found out what I really like, and that's gonna be a Maduro full body. That's what I smoke usually, unless I take a break from that and go down a little bit. But that's what I've been smoking since then. Like I said, came to ATL in '01. Ex-police officer with Clayton County Police Department. I'm
Thank you
retired
for your
now.
service. Thank you.
And like we talked earlier, I still drive a truck on the other side of the job, and then run the shop at the same time with my wife. So this has been an experience, which I told you before. We started to open the shop during the pandemic, but we endured. We persevered.
I'm gonna ask you about that. I want y'all to go a little bit more into that one.
Yeah. So we will. I'm gonna let Chandi go ahead and talk because I can keep on going about myself.
You really?
All the things I've done in my life.
So unlike my husband, I haven't been smoking for 20 years. I've been smoking for about 10.
Okay.
The Atlanta cigar scene has been really rich, really thick with a lot of, sisters of the leaf that have been smoking 10, 15, 20 years, as long as my husband. All of us started out in a club called Oscars. It was a black-owned cigar lounge on Camp Creek Parkway. Some of you all may have come through town, and maybe you went by Oscars at that time. It was the spot. It was where so many cigar enthusiasts, brown skin like us, where we met and we hung out and we smoked cigars and we learned about the leaf. And so many of us owners spawned from Oscars.
Yeah.
Really?
Major Oscars was major on the set for us, on the cigar set. It started it out, and and we'll go into it, but Hot Ashes, us, King Cigar Lounge, you've got major Hot Ashes 2, you got major cigar lounges that have been in business for 5-10 years here that came out of Oscars.
So that's like
really cool.
That's like the home lounge that groomed everybody to home base to start saying, hey, giving everybody that inspiration, that promotion, that drive to get out and say, hey, go on this side of town, and everyone said, this is what I'm going to do, this is how we're going to do it.
Right.
Yes.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yes.
And the most fantastic thing for us, like my history with cigars, is that my grandfather actually sharecropped. So my grandfather sharecropped tobacco.
Really?
So what would happen, and I didn't understand it then, is like he would have a cigar, a hand-rolled cigar, and he would smoke it down small, right? And I don't know what he would do with the flame part, but the next thing I know, he was actually chewing the remainder of the cigar.
Wow.
So my grandfather was like that, Willie James Sr., rest in peace. And then my great-grandmother actually spit snuff. I don't know, because we're both from up top. I'm from Boston, by the way. My husband's from Chicago. Hence, Southside Premium Cigars, Southside Chicago for my husband. But my great-grandmother would get a pinch full. She would put it in her lip. They're having her lip right there.
All day.
And she could spit, I swear, 30 meters, 30 yards away. All the spit would make it in the trash can.
30
I would be like, whoa.
30 yards. We need that on the football team.
Like, what is that? So that was my tobacco introduction. And then, of course, as I evolved and started smoking cigars, and I started smoking cigars at Oscars, where apparently I brushed shoulders with my husband, but he wasn't paying me any attention, so whatever.
Another story.
So another story for another episode, right? So and that's where it spawned. And I started with very, very sweet cigars. I liked all the sweets. That's how I started. So he likes the Maduros, the Fulls, and I like the sweets at that time.
So when did you cross over, before we get back to Southside Premium, what made you want to cross over to the non-flavor, just like strictly tobacco cigars?
Well, for me, I'm a foodie. I'm one of those people that I can eat it and then I can reproduce it in the kitchen. So the flavor notes didn't continue to appeal to my palate in all sweets. I was looking for something more.
Something more. Okay. So, well, since we're here, I want to ask, what notes, because I haven't divulged to everybody since I've been smoking Carver some of the notes that come out. What notes have you gotten from some of Carver cigars?
So for me, and I don't want to just take it all, but for me, I've got a very sultry, a very leathery, a little bit of spice notes out of the cigars. And I'm
Okay.
smoking La Miranda, so the La Miranda is the fullest body that
Yes.
he has. I don't know what my husband gets.
I don't pick up the notes like that
Okay.
in most cigars. I smoke because I like the smell and I like the taste. People's palates are different, and I think women pick up more on the notes. I
Yes.
think, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it seems like women pick up more of the notes, the different flavors and the different tastes.
They get deeper into it.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. Because a lot of times I'm smoking, I might taste a little something, but I couldn't tell you what it is. But I kind of, I know that taste, I know that smell, and I know the flavor. But all the hickory and the leather.
Like you got certain notes that you could always, like when you're
Yeah.
smoking a cigar,
Mhm.
there's certain notes you go to sit here and say, yeah, that's that black pepper or that's that white pepper.
Right. Now
Like-
I can pick up the peppery.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But the other kind of notes, I can't pick up on those too much. You know, like I said, I've been smoking over 20 years. And like I said, my palate is a full body palate. When I'm smoking something like a mild to me is like pulling on it, blowing the smoke out. I'm like, oh, why am I even smoking this?
Gotcha.
So I gotta smoke something with a little hit to it. you know?
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
So everyone who's watching, we want y'all to know right now, we are outside in front of the shop doing the interview. So you just seen Chandi wave. She's waving to her customers that's coming by. You know, we keep trying, as I tell y'all on Cigar Connections, we want you to bring you the authenticity of the shop as much as we can.
Yeah.
So you can come here, and if you pass through Atlanta, you know this is one spot that I gotta stop at to enjoy the culture, enjoy the vibe, enjoy the scenery. And I'll be honest with you, if you want to feel like you're at home, you're on your deck. If you got a back deck, you got a enclosed deck or whatever you got,
Inside.
or whatever you got, it is basically at home. You basically kicking your feet up, enjoying and chilling. So let's get back to it. So anyway,
So y'all see the lights. My fire guys are pulling up. We have a huge public safety following, and we're having an event tonight for a fire guy. It's his 6-0. His 6-0. We might let him get on in there too. So my fire guys are pulling up. We're not in trouble. They're just pulling up to say happy birthday.
so now that you guys introduce yourself, you two introduce yourself a little bit. Let's get into Southside Premium Cigars. So you say y'all started up during the pandemic.
Yes.
How was it actually being a new business during that time? What were some of the ups and what were some of the downs of actually like opening your doors during the pandemic?
Well, I think like we spoke earlier, during that time, everything was shut down. So a lot of people were not coming out to smoke. So our doors were open, but we had very, very little traffic.
Okay.
I mean, like I was saying earlier, I used to open up early, 10, 11 in the morning, stay to 1 in the morning, and my total for that day be $25, $30, $40 for the whole day.
Wow.
And that lasted for a while, but this is something that we wanted to do. So we said, hey, we got to stick with this. It's going to get better, and we're going to keep grinding at it.
Now,
So
how was that? Like seeing that dollar amount to bring in, and then looking at the dollar amount that you had to put out. Like, how was that mentally? Like what did you tell yourselves individually, and then like what did you talk about as a couple to keep it going?
Well, as a couple, we strong. So the business and our personal life, this is what we decided to do when we were dating. We got married late. You know, we married late. We've been married almost
4 years,
four
huh?
years in a couple of days.
Congratulations.
Coming up on our anniversary, right? And when we were dating, we decided we were going to open a cigar spot. So we didn't do a big what you call it?
Wedding and everything.
Trip after the wedding.
Yeah.
We didn't do that. We said we're gonna open our spot. So we already
Honeymoon.
had the grind, the honeymoon. We already had the grind mentality when we were dating to open up our spot. So mentally, we were prepared for the ups and downs, the highs and lows, as we stepped into it. Because remember when I was telling you, we spawned out of this cigar society here in Atlanta, where it wasn't crabs in a barrel. All of us came through the same shop. So our mentors who have their shops, who are doing well, was like, hey, just stay the course, hold on. You know, we started with 1 box, we started with 2, then we, you know, kept building our inventory. And we had those kinds of, that advice as a backbone.
Gotcha.
So we were able to continue to grow from that. Because we knew the people we were smoking with, we're looking at their business. The cigar industry in Atlanta is hot. It's hot. We got buying power here as a force, as lounge owners. We probably have the most black-owned cigar lounges and cigar shops per capita, probably in the Southeast. There's a lot of cigar shops here, and we all have different imprints. So we were able to really draw into our mentors, Hot Ashes, D. Wells, that's our brother. He was constantly in our ear, giving us advice, giving us support, helping us through the way.
Gotcha.
You know, and that's what's different about the South. Like that flavor, you get that Southern hospitality where, you know, we in it, we family for real.
Gotcha.
You know, you get those uncle and auntie conversations. It's cool.
Okay. So, what was one of the first lines or brands that you actually had in your humidor?
Big Boys. Jay from Big Boy Cigars.
Jay from Big Boy Cigars.
That was our black owned. That was our first box of cigars that we had. I think might have been our only boxes in there.
That was the first 4. We bought his whole line.
Yeah.
And that's what we put on the shelves.
And then GTOs.
And then GTO, Dominican Cigar Company, Oscar, that's our people.
Yeah.
You know, these are vendors that grew with our business as we grew.
Yeah.
And we helped them grow.
Gotcha.
So we introduced Franco to Big Boys and to Oscar, so he can also see how other boutique brands, how they operate.
Right.
So boutique is like not your legacy brand, not your Perdermo, not your Plasencia, not your Oscar,
La Flor Dominicanas.
not your La Flor Dominicanas.
Yeah.
Boutique, they usually are producing under 50,000 cigars on the year.
Yeah.
So we were able to introduce Franco to our people who helped us get started as a retailer, but then also give him those relationships that he could learn about packaging, about marketing, about shelf talkers, about
labels,
you know,
and all
labeling,
that,
about how to sell his brand. So that was good for us.
Okay. What is one of your high moments having your lounge? Like one of those moments that you sit back and y'all two light a cigar together, y'all may have a drink or whatever, and y'all just say, wow, like, you know, this is like one of our best, what's like one of your memorable nights here or days here at Southside Premium Cigars?
I don't know.
You know, you got some.
I think really just,
Friday night.
no, I think it's just sometimes when you can open your doors, you can come in and you preparing for people to come in for that day. And you have that lull where nobody's in here and you can just sit back and look around. Because when we first got this place, it was nothing in there. We had to do all the work. Build the humidor out, had to paint the walls, had to put the floor down. We had to do everything.
Yourself?
So, yeah, or we had a contractor to do it, but you know, we had to pay for it out of our pockets.
Yes.
So we working second jobs at the same time, and plus this. As a baby, this was a baby.
Yes.
You know, and we had to feed it. We had to take care of it. We had to pamper it. We had to nurture it. We had to do all those things. So just to be coming in at certain points and you can be able to sit back and you light a stick, you smoking and you look around and you go, man, we did it. You know, we did this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you just look at the work. God has been so good to us. I mean, we've had challenges. It hasn't been perfect, you know, but we persevered through it. We kept our faith and saying, hey, this is going to work. Next month is going to be better, or next week is going to be better than this week. So we just keep on going. We keep on going. We started seeing our clients come in, start seeing new clients come in, our walk-ins. Sometimes they sit, sometimes they don't. You know, But like we were saying earlier, we're building relationships with these people, you know, and we treat people like family when they come in. And when they come in, they feel like family. And they tell their friends and they come back, you know.
Yeah.
And I've never heard anybody come in this shop and say, hey, well, they don't treat us right. We're not coming back because of that. No. We got how many labels in there now? Or the max labels we usually have in there.
We're just constantly building.
We're constantly building, but we have a lot of labels, a lot of faces in there. And if you can't find something good to smoke in that humidor, unless you're just chasing
a label,
a brand.
A brand. Okay, that's one thing. But chasing a brand means you're overlooking so many other labels in there that's comparable or probably better than that one brand that you're looking at. So we try to expand that knowledge to other people and teach them, hey, just because we don't have that one, try this. Try this. So that's what we've been doing.
So, Chandi, you was telling me earlier that this is not a typical, and I'm from New York, so this is not like you don't consider yourself a lounge. Please, and you know, dive into that a little bit more.
Okay, so I'm gonna feedback on your last question. So my high moment is having enough diversity in the humidor that we pull the diversity from our customer base.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Right? It's not
Well
about
said.
white. It's not about black. It's about smoke.
got you.
You know what I'm saying? What are you coming in to smoke? That's what we say when you hit the door. We say, "Hey, how you doing? What you smoking?" Right?
So that's
What you
that's
smoking?
that's like y'all greeted. Hey, how you?
That's our greeting. That's our cheers.
Yeah.
What you smoking? Right? So my high moment is 2-3 months in, we were able to go from 5-6 boxes to 20 faces.
Wow.
To 30 faces, to 40 faces, to people saying, oh yeah, so-and-so told me about y'all. I came by and they come in and they're like, oh, okay. And in Atlanta, that's huge because, feeding into this next conversation, we're a cigar shop.
A cigar
We're not
shop.
a cigar lounge where we have a DJ every week, or we have live band every week, or we have XYZ events going on every week. We have that humidor. We have a big humidor. It's huge. It's about 150 square feet. It's tall. It's big. It's got plenty of shelves, lots of cigars on the shelves. And we're about that humidor. So when you come to see us, we know you're coming to smoke, not be entertained. You're entertained by the smoke, but not entertained where you're going to a nightclub or you're going to that atmosphere. And don't get us wrong, there's a thumbprint for everybody in the cigar industry. And a lot of the other shops, they're more entertainment. There's a beautiful venue that's close by here. It's $1 million plus venue. It's beautiful, marble floors, all this beautiful stuff, right?
Yes.
Patio, all that great stuff. But that's their lane.
Yes.
Our lane is you smoking, you doing what you do, you get off work, oh, you want to come get some cigars, oh, you're a trucker, you're balancing your budget, you only have $20 to spend on cigars, I'm going to put 4 cigars in your pocket for 20 bucks. I'm going to have that price point for you. I'm going to have a lower price point, still a quality cigar, all the way up to, you know, a higher price point cigar, but it's about the smoke.
It's quality cigars
Quality
at affordable prices.
That's what it says here, right?
That's right.
Quality cigars at affordable prices.
right.
And we mean that. You know, that's how we stock our inventory. That's how we stock our humidor.
Yeah.
So you said the truckers, you got first responders coming. So basically, this is a spot to come to where before work, after work.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
You just need to wind down. You want to relax.
Right.
And be around people you may consider family.
Yes. Us regular family folks.
And just enjoy.
We call it our cigar family.
Wow.
You know, regular family folks. And I think one of the main things about it too is like we are regular people. You know, like my husband said, he's former. He said ex. I never say ex. He's former law enforcement. He served over 15 years in law enforcement. I just retired with 27.
Congratulations.
Right?
Yes.
That's what that looks like, right? I just retired with 27.
Enjoy that pension.
Uninterrupted years in law enforcement, right? But we had a plan B. This was our vision. This was our baby. And this is what we wanted. And it was just so cool that we had that in common. We had cigars, we had motorcycles, we had law enforcement, all these things in common, you know? And we like for the shop to be common ground for people. If you don't have nothing else to talk about, you got these cigars to talk about when you come in the shop.
Got you. Oh, before we get into the next kind of series of questions, so with that, what would you have to tell your out-of-state smokers that come in like me? You know, I'm visiting. What are you going to tell them as to say when you get off the plane at Atlanta? What are you going to do? What's something you want to tell them to come?
Oh my goodness! First of all, have some friends here who can kind of tell you about the different shops that suit your personality. I think that's real important. Because like I said, every shop has a different footprint, has a different lane, has a different fingerprint. Every shop is different. You want to rock your fedoras, you want to come in like that with your crown and your white gloves, we got shops like that. You want to rock your Timbs, you want to come in how you dress like this, we have that too. But all the shops are different. So you just have to have, you know, you coming in and you're bringing yourself and your personality as the consumer. You want to match that consumership with the shop. And here in Atlanta, I kid you not, there are so many shops. There is something for everybody.
Yeah, but here at Southside Premium, we are not in the middle, but we cover all of that.
Okay.
Because we don't have a dress code per se. You can come after work in your jeans and your boots. You can get dressed up if you want to, rocking your fedoras and everything else. You come here, gym shoes and some basketball shorts with a t-shirt. We taking all of that. We're not turning anybody down at the door. We don't ever have a cover charge at the door.
Wow.
And if we're having an event, which is here and there,
tonight,
you know,
that's why
like
we
tonight,
dressed a little bit
here
tonight.
and there, no cover charge. You come in, you buy your cigar, you sit down and you want to have a conversation with somebody, you join in on that conversation. If you don't and you just want to sit back, you sit back and just chill.
Facts.
There's no pressure to be put on you. We don't have cliques in the shop where people ganging up. New people come in, they looking at them all crazy-eyed.
Yeah, no.
And then they looking at us like, hey, what's wrong with your people over here? We don't have that. We don't want that. We're not cliquish. We're not cliquish at all. We want everybody to come in and enjoy themselves. So one thing we do, we treat them with love coming in. We show love to them, they show love to us. You know, we want to keep it that way.
You see, and that's one thing that I learned about the Leaf. You know, the Leaf, you know, it's not about your social status.
Exactly.
You know, it's about us smoking this and us either sharing knowledge to someone, mentoring someone, guiding someone,
yes,
or just sometimes just being that listening ear for someone.
Yeah.
You know, and then you never know who you meet every time someone comes in.
Exactly.
But let me say this about out of town. Out
Okay.
of town people that come in, especially us. I'm from Boston, right? So I'm from up top, right? Let me say this: cigar etiquette. We don't care if you bring your box, if you bring your cutter, if you bring your lighter, but go in that humidor.
Yes, that's number one.
We're not charging a cover charge, but the expectation is you're going to support us coming through the door by purchasing something out of the humidor.
That's right.
We shouldn't have to tap you on the shoulder and, hey man, you know, have you been in the humidor yet? That's just etiquette. Bring your etiquette with you when you come to the South. When you come down here, go in the humidor. Buy,
I agree.
purchase, make a purchase. I don't care if you have a label you like, you got your little box stacked up from home. That's cool. We don't care about that. Bring it. That's great. But support the business that you're in.
And with that, we'll be right back.
We're back.
We're back. So, talking about cigar etiquette 101 and supporting the humidor, we're going to bring it into the humidor so y'all could just get a little glimpse of what it is. And this is the first for me also, having an interview in the humidor for a cigar lounge, which is different, it's good. And like I said, you guys have a large humidor and a vast variety of different cigars to choose from.
Yeah.
So, with talking about etiquette and supporting the house, I'm going to go straight to it. What can the viewers kind of expect in the near future? Maybe some of the ideas, the things that you're coming up with that you may want to talk about for Southside Premium Cigars.
You want me to start or you want to start?
What you gonna start with?
Well, okay, so for some of you all who are cigar enthusiasts, and you may know our cigar culture here in the Atlanta area and Georgia period is very rich. So we have, normally in September, we have what's called Atlanta Cigar Week.
Okay.
And that week consists of basically going to different cigar shops north of Atlanta, and in that vibe, and those are more lounge atmospheres where you're entertained, you have a band, you have all of these, higher end activities in the cigar culture.
Okay.
So in May of 2023, the South Side is going to do it our way, south of Atlanta Airport, where you don't have to have an ascot or a fedora or even your red bottoms. If you don't want to come like that, we're going to have a cigar festival in May of 2023. So we're super excited, and it's going to be those cigar shops that are south of Atlanta,
Yes.
and it's going to feature Smoke City Cigar Lounge down in Jonesboro, Georgia, Hot Ashes in Riverdale, Georgia, Southside Premium Cigars in Fairburn, Georgia, and we've invited in King Cigars in Hateville, Georgia. We've invited in Thick Ash Cigars in Noonan, Georgia. We've invited in also John at House of Smoking Grooves, in McDonough, Georgia. All of these are black-owned cigar shops, and all of these are shops south of Atlanta. It's a different feel on the south side than it is on the north side. Not one is any better or any worse. It's just, it's a different feel. So down here, we this, right? You got your Timbs, you chilling. You got your little colorful hoodie, okay? Little skinny jeans. All right, we got you. Right? We got you. And that week, it's just going to be bring who you are. And during that week, we're also going to feature black-owned cigar brands.
Okay.
We're also going to feature black-owned spirit brands. So there's a lot of black-owned boutique spirits like cognacs, wine, whiskeys that are black-owned labels that, unless you're in this culture, because they may not have hit mainstream in your local alcohol store, you may not ever see that label. So we're going to give you that experience. It's going to be a cigar experience. It's going to be, it's going to be like a cigar homecoming. Like you coming down to see Auntie and them.
A Southside cigar homecoming.
Yep. It's
like
going to be south of Atlanta. We're trying to get the name together, but it's going to be a South of Atlanta cigar festival, and it will start here at Southside Premium Cigars. Night number 1 is going to be here.
Night number 1.
It's going to be loaded, Jack.
All right. Oh, I'm looking forward to that. So you said May.
May of 2023. Yeah, y'all better get y'all tickets together.
Cigar Connections coming down back. I'm trying to come down back before, but definitely I'll be back down here in May.
You're going to love it.
So with that, tell everybody your social media and your address again, where they can find you at.
Go ahead, man.
Go, babe. You got it. Oh, he gonna shake his head now like he's shy. Okay, so our social media is on Instagram. We are at Smoke with SPC. It's all one. Smoke with SPC. That's on Instagram. And our Facebook is Southside Premium Cigars. When you think of Southside Chicago, that's what it looked like. So we named our shop in homage to my husband and his upbringing and where he's from, and the backbone of who he is Chicago.
Got you.
So that's what we did.
Okay. And what's your address again here?
640 Sonoya Road, Fairburn, Georgia, 30213.
Okay. Is there anything else you two would like to tell the viewers before we go?
I would.
Go ahead.
I just want to say support your cigar shops locally. Support new shops that you hear about. You can give us a call at the shop. We do online sales, so we'll definitely ship out to you, especially a lot of the brands that we have that you may not find locally. And I want to say, smoke what you smoke. Don't smoke the label. Smoke the cigar. What is it that you like? Smoke into that, and don't get typecast into this legacy brand that you've been smoking for all these years, the same old smoke. Smoke something different. Come smoke with us.
That's our logo. Come smoke with us. And like she said, don't smoke the brand or the label, because you miss out on so many other good cigars that you'll never know about because you don't smoke them. You're used to that one brand, that one label, and you're missing out on so many other labels. When you smoke cigars, your palate will tell you what you like and what you don't like. So smoke a variety of cigars and then find out what it is that you do like. And in that flavor, then you'll say, okay, I like ATL brand of this, or I like Bone Crusher, or I like Don Gonzalez hand roll, or whatever it may be. You'll learn the ones that you like to smoke. So you'll enlarge your humidor at home, because now you have 30, 40, 50 different labels that you can smoke. So when you go in a cigar, if they don't have this one, you can say, okay, well, they got this. They don't have this one, okay, they got this. You'll always have a certain cigar that you can buy, instead of coming in the humidor, looking around, and you go, oh, y'all don't have a legal provider? No, we don't have a legal provider. Okay, now I don't want that. What's the point of coming in the cigar shop and you leave out empty-handed, and you have us come in the humidor with you, and then we're telling you, hey, well, we don't have legal, but if you smoke this, you'll like this, but you never try. Give it a try, and I'm sure you'll find something you like.
And the last thing I want to say, give the new cigar shop owner or the expiring cigar shop owner a word of advice.
Ooh. Listen, when you get into this business, it's not an easy business. But if you have your plan down and you're committed to it, stay with that plan and learn all you can about cigar culture, cigar language, because it's a cigar language. I think that's about it. Learn all you can about it. Oh, well, you gotta have money.
That's some money, y'all.
It's not a cheap.
It's not a cheap business, and I think sometimes people they go to lounges and they get really comfortable and they think, oh, this looks easy. I could do this. I can pop up and do this. You gotta have the education about cigars to be able to do this successfully.
Learn the culture.
Which is why we were able to go from 3-4 boxes to look at where we are, and we're continuing to grow. We're not even all the way where we want to be, but that's because we learned so much about cigars and the different labels, boutiques versus legacy, different leaves, different Maduro leaves. What do people like? Nicaraguan versus Dominican versus Costa Rican versus San Andres, Mexican, Maduro. There's so many different cigars and cigar types out there. It's just really important to be educated. It's also really important to find a mentor who's doing it successfully.
That's
someone
key.
That's so key. It's so key and critical for us that someone who's doing it successful, they're going to give you the ins and outs. They're going to talk to you the ins and outs about the business. But I also say you have to pay homage to the cigar industry. This culture, folks been smoking cigars since
God knows when.
The 1800s, right? So they've been rolling them up, right? So we want to pay homage to the industry, and that's just learning what you like. And that's like a big thing. Like, who eats chicken every day? Like, I don't have nothing bad against chicken, but, don't smoke the same cigar every day. There's something so different every day, And the cigar culture is just so dope. It's full of so much life, so much love from the people, from the seed to the leaf to the sale. So many people who, the hands on the cigar before it even gets to the shelf. Nice. Learn about that culture.
So, everybody viewing, with that being said, we are going to go enjoy the birthday party. We're going to go enjoy the cutting light. We're going to smoke some more cigars. So please go and follow Smoke with SPC on Instagram. If you're not already following Cigar Connections, please follow. Like me on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube page. And with nothing else being said, enjoy your night, enjoy your weekend, and until the next episode, peace, love, and God bless, and thank you.
Smoke some.
Come smoke with us.